Okay, let's cut the pleasantries. I done tried this once. Um, so let's try it again. As I said the first time, let's cut with the pleasantries. I am National Communism 666. I'm sure you know who I am. Um, I'm Barack Lucifer, Lightning from Venus. And I'm here to talk about income inequality. And why am I talking about this? Well, in particular, it's because of Jared Taylor, who talked about this subject. So that's why I'm talking about this particular subject right now. And he wanted to make even though I agree with him on a lot of things, he wanted to make a case that income inequality was not as bad as we say it is. And that this is just another one of our politically correct society's delusions that we have to solve, one of our liberal kind of nonsense that's like racism and all this other shit. Well, I'm going to make a video saying why he's full of shit about this. And I do agree with a lot of what he says. Jared Taylor, in case you don't know him, he's a guy who, Jared Taylor, I don't know why I said weird, but Jared Taylor, he looks almost cartoonishly like what you would expect a white guy to look like. Like if you had to ask a black dude, what do you think white people look like? And he draw a fucking picture of Jared Taylor, and he sounds like he's from like Harvard or something. Of course, he can't help that. I'm not trying to diss him, but just from a propaganda viewpoint, he looks not a good look. But look, whatever. He says it's because that statistically, we've not went the income equality the income hasn't went down for anyone. It's went way up for the rich, but that doesn't make the other groups necessarily poor. That everyone's went up, or some shit like that. Now, to his credit, he did say the middle class went up the least, and we seem to be on a slow slide down the ladder. Well, let's look at why that is. Mega corporations and rich people, bankers and other groups, swindled people out of their houses and out of life savings. They swindled people into taking loans they could not afford. I had a house that I lost because they told us to pay a certain amount of money by a certain time. We could not pay that, so we lost the house. We got out just in time before we lost our ass completely. A lot of people didn't do that. So you want to know why the 1%'s gotten richer and why the middle class is on their slow slide downward? It's because of corporations and rich assholes screwing people. And pretty soon there won't be a middle class. There'll be one giant poor class. And that class will get poorer and poorer and poorer. And I don't know how rich this guy is. Like I said, he looks like a stereotype of a rich white guy. And, or he sounds like it, more importantly. But, if he is, in fact, rich, then that would explain a lot. Because I'm sure, even if you are not yourself poor, we all know fucking white people who are completely dirt fucking poor, and it's not always their fucking fault. They get fucked, they get screwed by various people. Sometimes it's a woman, she has a guy leave or whatever, and it's just, they lose their ass. To blame them for that, and to act as if the society has no responsibility to take care of them, and children basically should just be poor because of it, that's bullshit. And I'm not talking lower middle class, no, I mean fucking poor. And any white person knows plenty of fucking white people who are poor. So this motherfucker must be rich if he's saying that he doesn't. He talked about immigration. He talks about immigration. Well, yeah, we do have massive fucking immigration problems, and that does create a problem, mainly because you have massive amounts of people coming in from another country. You have a shortage of jobs in the job markets. You also have, we will one day have, believe me, a shortage of supplies. But for now, it's the job market, so people want jobs. They work for less money for a job. Then the white people have to come along, they have to get a job. They don't get the job, okay? And it's going to get to the point where we're going to have to work for less money to get a job, work for less money than the Mexicans to get a job. So if they work for almost nothing now, we will be working for nothing. So it's getting slowly, it's getting back to slave labor. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted a population of people who are free and easy labor, who will work for nothing while other people demand higher wages. They didn't want that. They wanted to get it to the point where we're at slave labor. So they bring in people from countries that they wrecked to do that. Then you have the fucking prison population. He talks about the prison population. They're poor, in his opinion, which I don't think this has anything to do with statistics, whatever. But he talks about how statistically they are really poor and how they rely completely on fucking people to take care of them. Well, yeah, I wonder fucking why, because you came along, forced them, most of the time against their will, into a prison cell, away from their homes, to be in fucking prison. And he tries to say this to blacks, Mexicans, you're bringing in criminals, all that shit. That's bullshit. That is true to some extent, and some blacks do commit more violent crimes, but largely, it's because, whether they're white, black, or whatever they are, it's because we have a privately owned prison system in this country that has created bullshit laws against crimes, what are called victimless crimes, that hurts no one, and, then they push for tougher punishments for these crimes. So the end result is you've got people going to jail, a lot more people going to jail, and they're going to jail for longer amounts of time than they used to. So you do have a huge prison population. So these motherfuckers that privately own the prison system can get richer. The prison system is a stock on Wall Street. So that's bullshit. So it's not this blacks, whites, or anyone else just committing crimes. They're not just criminals or thugs or anything else. A lot of these people are fucking non-violent people who could get along, who could get on perfectly real in mainstream society had you not stuck them in a fucking cage. And this is why white nationalism has got to change. Because people like me who used to support the whole right pride shit, we're really moving away from your crap. I got kicked out of a group the other day because I said something like I'm part Jewish and I'm bisexual. And I'm saying this. And of course they didn't like me anyways. I was just probably the last nail in the coffin. Because I was presenting a lot of new ideas. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? This is a good idea. They didn't want to hear it. They're not. But that's another problem. That is that you're not receptive to new fucking ideals. You're not. You're living in the past. You're living in the dead world. In the battle of Zoroaster or Aruman versus Angramanu, you are fucking Angramanu. You're living the past. You're dark. You're ignorant. You're not progressive. You're not the future. You're not live. You're not vibrant. And it's got to change, or people like me are leaving. And the reality is, whites are the new niggers of society. We're going to be. I am anyways, but we're going to be. And the fact that people like Jared fucking Taylor, I don't say that to insult blacks, I'm trying to prove a point. But the fact that, by using that word and phrases like someone like Jared Taylor would use, but the fact that Jared Taylor doesn't understand that is beyond me. And he's completely missing the point, and he's fighting a wrong battle. He's fighting the wrong group of people. The problem isn't blacks or Mexicans. If anything, they're a symptom of the problem. The fucking problem of rich 1% who is fucking everyone over. These rich 1%, not even more than 1%, more like 10%. These rich motherfuckers who are fucking everyone else over. They're the problem. P666.